Have you ever wondered, as we spin on this blue planet in the huge open space of the cosmos, how this whole story began? How did life start on Earth? It's a question that has echoed through time, a question that has puzzled both thinkers and scientists, and that still whispers deep in our minds about the universe. Are we here because of a bunch of blind, random chemical reactions, just a lucky chance in a sea of cosmic indifference? Or is there a hint of a planned design, an unseen hand that has woven the threads of existence with great care? On our journey, we won't give final answers, because the truth is often more complex and beautiful than we can imagine. But we will explore the deep scientific and philosophical arguments that challenge the idea that life is just an accident. We will dive into the world of very tiny chances, and look at the rules of physics and chemistry that seem to point to an order, to the fingerprint of a cosmic architect. It's an invitation to think, to ponder our place in this amazing fabric of existence, and to question if chaos alone can create such organized complexity. Together, we will look at the biggest challenges to the idea that life started by chance, from the tiny statistical chances of the simplest life molecules forming, to the amazing complexity of the tiny machines in our cells. We will look at the hidden information in our DNA and the very precise tuning of the universe's constants that made our existence possible in the first place. Could all of this just be lucky accidents, or is there something deeper waiting for us to find it? Join me, dear viewers, on this journey of discovery into the heart of one of the greatest mysteries in science and being. Imagine on a new morning, dewdrops gently falling on a green leaf. Each drop holds a unique possibility, as if the universe is whispering its secrets in the quiet of the morning. Isn't this seemingly simple moment the result of an amazing chain of interactions and possibilities? Now let's dive deeper into the world of molecules dancing in a single drop of water. Every atom moves according to strict rules, but the chance of them bumping into each other and reacting to form a complex compound is like trying to arrange millions of letters randomly to write a complete poem. That's like winning the lottery, but not just once, but over and over again. Imagine you roll dice millions of times and expect the same result every time. That's roughly the chance needed for a single protein to form by accident. So what about all of life? The numbers here are unforgiving, standing like silent guards at the gates of the impossible. No amount of crossing your fingers or good luck charms will help. In science labs, with their fancy computers, scientists try to make this amazing coincidence happen. But every experiment, every math problem, leads to a graph that quickly drops to zero, showing that the chance is too small to count on. You could say the odds are worse than winning the lottery, and that's every week. And finally, when we look at the huge picture of the universe, we see that our being here isn't just a number in a math problem, but a miracle that beats all the odds. Can chance alone paint this beautiful picture? Or is there a bigger secret hiding behind the curtain, waiting to be found? Imagine a super precise mechanical watch, with tiny gears dancing together perfectly. Each part does its job with amazing accuracy. If even one tiny gear was missing, the watch wouldn't work at all. Well, some living things are like that. They have tiny, invisible machines inside their cells that spin and connect. Every part is super important, and every move is planned with amazing exactness. Think about a butterfly's wing. It's so delicate. If even a small piece was missing, it couldn't fly. Or a spider's web, made of thin, tangled threads. Every thread helps hold up the whole thing. Even your own heart beats in a perfect rhythm. Every valve and muscle has a super important job. If one part stopped working, the whole system would get messed up. Can such amazing complexity just happen by accident, little by little? Or is there a deeper secret to how these perfect things are built? Let's think about this together. Are we seeing just blind chance? Or is there a super smart design that has no flaws? The beauty of these systems makes us wonder and opens up so many questions. Deep inside every cell, there's a quiet fight happening between the very first tiny parts of life. DNA, which holds all the secret instructions, stands tall as the keeper of these secrets. but it can't copy itself without help from proteins. And proteins, these tiny giants, are only made if DNA tells them how. So here's where it gets confusing. What started it all? Imagine a super cool lab where DNA and protein molecules are dancing in an imaginary space. They twist and turn, linking up and letting go over and over again. Each molecule reaches out to the other like partners in a never-ending dance. One can't live without the other, and neither can say it came first. Scientists are scratching their heads over this tricky situation. DNA needs proteins to make copies of itself, and proteins need DNA to be made. So, what came first? It's a question that makes you wonder and lights up the idea of thinking deeply about how life started. It also shows us how much we still don't know when we look at how amazing creation is. In the end, the puzzle of which came first, DNA or proteins, is still a big mystery. It makes us think about how everything began. Was there some secret string that wove the first cell together? Or did life just happen from a wonderful mix of chance and order? These are questions that open up doors in both philosophy and science, leaving us amazed by how grand existence is. In the early messy Earth with volcanoes blowing up, winds howling, and the sun's heat baking the rocks, the first delicate parts of life came to be. The RNA molecule, this fragile strand, like a poem on water, was the first one thought to hold the secret of how things began. This molecule was like a silk thread hanging over a deep hole, floating between being and not being, between forming and falling apart. Every tiny piece in it carried the weight of survival, and every chemical link shook under the tough conditions. Imagine the RNA molecule fighting against heat waves, surviving volcanic eruptions, and standing strong against the chemical storms hitting it from all sides. How delicate, yet how tough it was. At every moment, falling apart was closer than being saved. A hot drop of water or a lightning strike could have torn this delicate thing apart. But RNA kept trying, rising from its ashes and building itself anew. Isn't there a big secret in this fragility? Isn't the toughness of this molecule, given how harsh nature was, an amazing story worth thinking about? That's how life began, from a thin thread, defying the impossible and writing the first lines of existence. In the deep parts of modern labs, where the bright lights of fancy machines light up the faces of hardworking scientists, there's a heavy quiet. You can only hear the hum of the tools and the soft whistle of glass tubes. Here, in this place full of hope and waiting, the journey to find out where life began starts. They keep doing experiments over and over again without getting tired. Test tubes stand in rows like quiet soldiers, holding a mix of chemicals and hope inside them. Each new try makes things more exciting, and every time they fail, it adds another layer of mystery to this never-ending puzzle. Even after many years of hard work, no one has been able to make an RNA molecule that can copy itself on its own. Every experiment ends in quiet, as if the labs are holding their breath, hiding big questions about the secret of life behind their walls. In every test tube, there's a small dream, with parts of molecules that are not complete, looking for why they exist. You can feel the frustration in the air, but these scientists' eyes still show their strong will. They know that every time they fail, it's a step closer to finding something big. So the quiet of the test tubes stays as a witness to a science challenge that hasn't been won yet, and big questions that are knocking on the door of life. Will we ever be able to figure out the secret of the first life, or will silence be the only answer? At the heart of this huge universe, there's a strange rule. Everything tends toward chaos, toward spreading out and breaking down. It's like molecules dancing without a leader, bumping into each other and moving away, like an orchestra without a conductor, where there's just noise and the songs get lost. This is what the second law of thermodynamics is all about. A strict, tough rule that says things in a closed system will always become more random. Order is just a short-lived exception in a sea of chaos. Think about an old, empty room, how things just pile up in a messy way, and how order falls apart over time. And yet life seems like a miracle that goes against this fate. From the middle of chaos, the first cell appears, building its walls and making its parts work together with amazing exactness. It's like it's writing a poem of order in the noise of randomness, weaving a complex web of life from chaos. Think about a snowflake forming on a cold night. Each water molecule finds its spot with perfect shape, even though the whole universe wants it to scatter. Or look at a nerve cell sending signals in the human body in a complex system that goes against all the chances of chaos. Scientists stand in their labs looking at this amazing puzzle. How can life build a well-organized system in a universe ruled by the law of chaos? Are we just seeing blind chance, or is there a deeper secret at the heart of this cosmic challenge? Imagine with me a huge cosmic painting where physical constants dance like musical notes on the scale of existence. Every constant, from the speed of light to the gravitational constant, plays its part in a symphony like no other. If just one of these constants changed by even a tiny bit, the music would be off, and the very building blocks of the universe as we know it would fall apart. This perfect balance isn't just luck. It's a mathematical wonder that shows up in every atom and every galaxy. Think about it. If the speed of light was just a little slower or faster, or if the charge of an electron was even slightly different, there would be no stars, no atoms, no life. Every number here holds the secret to survival, and every value writes the story of existence. We're looking at a symphony woven with threads of wonder where cosmic forces work together in amazing harmony. Each constant sets the rhythm of the universe, and any small change would have turned this beauty into a huge mess. The more we learn about these constants, the more amazed we are by how perfectly they fit together. We stand in quiet thought and wonder at how grand this balance is. Isn't this universe, in the end, a brilliant symphony written by an unseen hand? Imagine this. Deep inside every cell, there's a spiral-shaped string, like an old poem that holds the secrets of how everything first began. DNA isn't just a molecule, it's like a library for the whole universe. Every letter in it is written with the beat of life, and every line tells the story of how we came to be from the very start of time. Look at this digital code where the building blocks of DNA dance like letters in a language only scientists can figure out. Every DNA molecule is like a secret message, written in a four-letter language where the symbols fit together like notes in a never-ending song. Isn't this super complicated and makes you really think? In every cell, millions of letters line up with amazing exactness, as if it were a poem written by an unseen hand. If just one letter changed, the music would be messed up, and the very foundations of life would fall apart. How can chance create such a wonderful system? How can the randomness of the universe write a message with such perfection? Scientists stand in awe of this wonder. In their fancy labs, they study the genetic code, trying to solve its puzzles. But every new discovery just opens up even bigger doors of mystery. It's like they're reading a never-ending book, where every page gets deeper and more beautiful. Can chance alone write this digital code? Compose this genetic song that flows in the veins of every living thing? Or is there a creative mind behind it who has woven the threads of life with wisdom and perfection? There's a secret in every cell, and a miracle in every molecule that invites us to think about how great creation is and how beautiful order is. When we look at nature's rules, we see that natural selection is like a skilled sculptor. It works with the clay of life, shaping and reshaping it. It picks the ones that are best at surviving and lets the weak fade away into history. But no matter how skilled it is, it can't make a statue of the first life out of nothing. Can a painter paint a picture without colors, or a musician play a song without strings? Natural selection is basically a sieve of time. It only lets through what meets the needs for survival, and the rest falls into the abyss of being forgotten. But it doesn't have the power to create the first seed of life or explain how the first atoms came together to write the first line in the book of existence. Here, science stands deep in thought, unable to answer, where did the first spark come from? Imagine a modern lab with test tubes lined up like silent soldiers and scientists watching reactions that are too small to see with your eyes. Every experiment brings up a new question. Can natural selection alone explain how life started from nothing? Or is there a deeper secret hidden behind the curtain of matter and energy? In the heart of every cell, There's a quiet battle between chance and order. Natural selection chooses from what's possible, but it doesn't create what's possible itself. It's like we're standing in front of a theater with no writer, actors with no lines, waiting for someone to write the first sentence in the play of existence. So the question hangs in the air of our thoughts. How did the first life come from nothing? Was there an invisible thread that connected the atoms, or did chance alone weave this complex structure? The limits of natural selection leave us with a never-ending puzzle, inviting us to think about the mystery of the beginning, where science meets philosophy and logic become silent in the face of such a big question. Let's take a moment and look at the fossil record with me. It's like a quiet, stony book that tells us chapters of Earth's history, carved into layers of rock like endless pages of time. Every fossil is a message from the past, a whisper from ancient times that makes us wonder and think, how did all this diverse life suddenly appear out of nowhere? Deep in this record, we find an amazing moment, the Cambrian explosion. Suddenly, as if Earth woke up, the oceans filled with strange and complex creatures that weren't there before. It was like life started a new song, where nature let its imagination run wild, and whole groups of animals appeared in what was a blink of an eye for geology. And among the rock layers, we see something confusing. Most of these creatures showed up without clear ancestors, without slow changes that would explain such amazing variety. It's like a deep secret is hidden in the depths of time, a puzzle that confuses scientists and sparks the imagination of thinkers. How can nature make such a huge leap in just one moment? Are we looking at a lucky accident or a hidden plan whose details we can't see? The lack of clear ancestors leaves us with a big question. Are we missing something in our records, or is life itself purposely hiding its secrets? This sudden burst of variety makes us think about what we don't know, and reminds us that every new discovery opens up bigger doors to mystery. Will we keep looking for this missing piece, or will the mystery of variety always make our imaginations richer? Hold on a moment. What if life came from pure chance, from blind bits bumping into each other in the dark at the very start, with no plan or goal? Under a microscope, cells seem to dance in a messy way, but behind every move, there's a hidden order. It's like the universe is writing its first poem with invisible ink. Let's think together. Can chance put together millions of random letters to write a great novel? It's like a typewriter hitting its keys without thinking, and out comes a whole big story with no writer and no creator. You might almost think the typewriter typed Faust by Goethe just by pure chance. Hard to imagine, right? Imagine wooden letters spread out on a table. Each one has a tiny chance of coming together to make a meaningful word. Isn't the order we see in life more like an open book, where every page shows a planned mind, not just random mess? It's like everything is in its right place, nothing left to chance. Open a great book and see how sentences and chapters work together so well, how thoughts line up in a wonderful way. Can this beauty come from only chance? Or is there a creative mind behind it, weaving things together with great care and skill? You might almost think of the amazing works of great writers and thinkers, not by chance, but by brilliant creation. Think hard about this. Does chance alone have the power to write the story of life with such creativity? Or is there a bigger secret? A hidden mind that guides this universe to order and meaning? Let's keep asking questions, because maybe the answer is deep in how much we wonder. At the crossroads of wonder, humans face life's biggest question. Are we children of blind chance, or is there a plan behind this universe? This question wakes up our minds and sparks deep thought in everyone who seeks the truth. The first puzzle, the impossible numbers. How can millions of tiny parts just happen to come together to make one protein? The numbers show how unlikely it is for life to be built by chance. The second puzzle, the law of chaos. Science tells us that everything tends to become messy. So how can life create a complex system from all that mess? The third puzzle, the complexity of the cell. Every cell is like a busy city. Each tiny part has a job, and if even one thing goes wrong, the whole system could fall apart. The fourth puzzle, the vicious circle. DNA needs proteins to make copies of itself, and proteins need DNA to be made. So which one came first? The fifth puzzle, the fragility of the first building blocks. The RNA molecule is very delicate. Any small change in its surroundings could have broken it apart before life even began. The sixth puzzle, the silence of the labs. Even after many years of trying, no one has been able to make a molecule that can copy itself on its own. The seventh puzzle, the fine-tuning of constants. If even one of the universe's basic numbers was off by just a tiny bit, everything would fall apart, and life wouldn't exist. The eighth puzzle, the genetic code. How could chance write such a perfectly coded message in every cell? The ninth puzzle, the gap in the fossil record. Complex living things suddenly show up without clear ancestors, as if there's a jump in life's history that slow changes can't explain. The 10th puzzle, limits of natural selection. Natural selection picks from what's already there, but it doesn't create the first stuff, and it doesn't explain how life appeared from nothing. The 11th puzzle, the mystery of consciousness. How did being aware come from stuff that isn't alive? What's the secret of feeling and seeing in a world ruled by science rules? The 12th puzzle, the purpose of the system. Is order just something that happens because of nature's rules, or is there a deeper reason behind it, something more than just matter? The 13th puzzle, beauty and meaning. Why does the universe have such beauty and harmony? Is beauty just by chance, or is it proof of a higher purpose? The 14th puzzle, the open question. Why do we look for meaning? Is our human ability to ask questions proof of a purpose, or is it just our minds trying to find order in all the chaos? And with all these puzzles, the question still hangs in our minds. Are we just here by chance, or is there a creative mind behind the curtain, weaving the threads of life? The cool thing about not knowing for sure is that it makes us want to explore and reminds us that we're part of a bigger mystery. Every step we take to learn more shows us a new part of this amazing universe.